Now, we talked about the F4 code where the unit has to prime. The F5 code is if you start the unit, and then what you do is say that the power stops. Say the hydro goes out in the house. So the hydro goes out in the house, or you unplug it by accident, just like this. Just remember that the next time you plug this unit in, just like this, it's going to flash you and give you an F5 code. Just simply press the start button and reset it. Okay? Now, there are also F codes that range from F6 right through to F12. All of those, the F6 and the F7, are actually related to the pump and to the high voltage transformer. Those F codes, all you need to do is actually to reset it, you actually have to unplug the unit. So you would have to take the unit, unplug it from the power, and let it sit for anywhere from 5 to 15 minutes. Then come back to the unit and plug it back in and try the process again. If you continually get an F6 or an F7, the unit would have to be replaced. Okay? Now anything above an F7, so an F8 through to F12, are serious failures on the unit that are designed to tell us what's happening with it. They also must be reset, once again, by unplugging and plugging back in. And those are an automatic replacement of the unit. Okay? So that's the unit in a nutshell. Then there's the other attachment that we're going to use, which is the bowl attachment. So what you would do is you can take your bowl, and I currently do not have any produce, but what you would do is throw in your spinach, your tomatoes, and everything like that, and you would place it in the bowl, and then you would fill it with water. And there is a max fill line right here. Now we do recommend fill your bowl about half full with produce, then fill the balance with water, okay? So I'm just going to put this on. We're going to put some water on. You're press the start button. Put your lid on. Remember to change your selector mode. So you want to be with wavy lines in the arrow that matches the lid. Change it by pressing the button beside the start button, and then press the start button. And this will begin cycling through. Once this reaches 100%, we recommend, and this is for any item that you are processing in the bowl, such as your produce. Also, you could be doing dishcloths, you could be doing pacifiers, other things like that. All you need to do is, once it reaches 100%, there's a 2-minute countdown, just like the 15 minutes. Once this reaches 100%, leave your items in that bowl for that 2-minute countdown. Once it beeps that that 2 minutes is over, all you need to do is take your bowl off the unit, drain your items, and you're good to go. So we're just going to let the unit go now. Okay, so the unit has reached 100% in the bowl mode, and this mode can actually take anywhere from 2 to 8 minutes actually, depending on the produce that you're running in the bowl or whatever item you're running in the bowl and how contaminated that item could be. Now once this is done, you can just lift this off, whoops, just like this. And now you'll see on this unit that we now have a 2-minute countdown. So what you would do is make sure that the items that are in this bowl are left in there for that 2 minutes so that they get maximum contact and we can get the kill rate of 99.9. Now, once you're done and that 2 minutes is over, I'm just going to use this as kind of a little indication. On the lid, there is actually, oops, not too high here, on the lid, there is this little handle here that actually turns, and you can see this way it's closed and this way it's open. So it's a nice little strainer for you so that you can actually strain the items. And you basically, all you do is turn over your sink and just do that, and it would strain the water out of the unit, or out of the bowl. And then you have your items left in here and they're ready for preparation. Okay? Now if you experience what we call an F1 function code with the unit, then what you would do, dump this water out, rinse your produce or whatever item you've been processing in the bowl, and then rinse that item, then put fresh, clean, cold water on here, and then process it again, okay? Now, the other thing you would check in that situation is make sure that your beads here are a dark green. If they're dark green, then you need to replace this. This booster cartridge actually helps remove the moisture from the air so that we can more effectively produce the ozone inside the unit. The other little tips and tidbits for actually your F1 code is make sure that whatever you're putting in the bowl that you don't overfill it with produce or items. You want to make sure that you get good circulation of the water around the item so it can remove the contamination from the item that you're processing in there. Also, a key thing, this is a max fill line that we do have on the unit. It's actually on the back here, just right here. If you're only running a few berries or a few strawberries, it's not necessary to fill it to the max fill line. You can fill it half full so that you don't waste too much water. Okay? Once the unit has, obviously the 2 minutes has been reached, it's over. You can now dump it. It shows end right here on the screen. And that's telling you that, hey, you can now take this off, drain your items, and you're ready for preparation. Okay? Now, the other neat thing about the product is we have multiple attachments that actually work with the unit. So, I'm going to show you first. This is what we call our baby bottle attachment, okay? The first thing it has is a little basket on the top here, and this basket you can put pacifiers in here, rubber nipples, baby chew toys, anything like that that you want to process. Inside this unit right here, you will see that there are 4 actual prongs. What you do is turn the bottles, wash the bottles, turn them upside down over top of this, fill this container with tap water, and then you would just place it on the unit just like this. Put the base or the basket back in just like that. Once again, because this one has items, you'll notice the emblem right here. It has an arrow with wavy lines. What you would do is make sure your mode is on an arrow with wavy lines and then start the process. Okay, and that can take anywhere from 2 to 8 minutes. Once again, if you do get an F1 code with whatever you're processing in here, simply reset it, rinse your items, put fresh, clean, cold water on, and process again. The other tip with the baby bottle attachment is sometimes there is so much water in here that you may need to leave that water in here for 2 cycles. So once it's done, just press this again and recirculate it again before you dump the water out. Okay? The other attachment that we have is called our toothbrush attachment. So what you can do, it actually comes with 3 pieces that you can use. Your first is actually your toothbrush. Your toothbrushes would fit right in here, so you just shove them in here, and then you're good. And then you have this basket. You turn this upside down, put this in here. Actually, you'd have to fill it with water first, so fill it with water up to the fill line. Put your toothbrushes in the unit, and then actually place it on here. Now, once again, this also is, because you're processing something in the water, you also need to have the wavy lines with the arrow mode as well. Now, if you wanted to, you want to sanitize your brushes, your combs, anything like that. Any of those kinds of things can actually be placed inside the basket. Put your combs in here, barrettes, brushes, anything you want to process. If you want to as well, if you don't want to use this just for your toothbrush, you can also use it for utensils that you use in the kitchen, such as knives or spoons or anything like that you actually want to process. And you would just put this on like that and process it. Okay? So those are the attachments that we currently have with the sanitizer.